Hi, I'm David Karandish, CEO and co-founder of Capacity. Thank you all for being with us today. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, let's start out by demonstrating Capacity accessing internal information from your LOS. So I could ask a question like, show the Johnson loan, and Capacity will log into my LOS via either Slack or Microsoft Teams or whatever interface I'm on, go connect to my LOS and pull all the information I care about, the rate lock, the status, etc. Or I could ask a question like, what loans are closing this month? And again, Capacity will hit the LOS, come back to me instantly with the response based on all of the loans that are closing this month. I can also ask questions about our regulatory guidelines. So if I wanted to know, what are USDA income limits? Capacity will go into our regs, come back to me instantly with a response on that particular topic. Now, not only can you place Capacity in a messaging platform like Slack or Teams, you can also embed Capacity directly in your Salesforce instance. So if I wanted to ask Capacity about, how do I connect to the VPN? As I type in VPN, we do autocomplete, and we'll direct you toward the answers that Capacity knows how to respond to. We've got this thumbs up, thumbs down. Every time I thumb that up, Capacity learns to match that a little more often. Every time I thumb that down, we can bring someone in for additional assistance. Now, not only can Capacity be internal, but it can be customer facing as well. So here's an example on homefundit.com. I could ask Capacity a question, say about down payment. And again, as I start typing, the autocomplete shows up. Say, why is a big down payment helpful? And it'll come back instantly with a response. If it's a big answer, you can go full screen. And again, it's all branded with the particular branding that they wanted for homefundit.com, here with Peyton the French Bulldog. Now, you may want a different mascot or different logo or icon representing your brand. And that's what they're doing here at Planet Home Lending. So Planet Home Lending, you can ask a question to Stella. So in this case, I might have a question about insurance. And as I'm typing, again, autocomplete pulls up. I've got a question here. I have my tax and insurance payment made by my mortgage company. Comes back instantly with a response. Now, I don't have time to go through all of the different details in the back end, but I do want to give you a quick preview. You can manage your knowledge directly in the Capacity knowledge base. It's as easy to use as Microsoft Office. Got all your directories here, search, new questions, expiring soon, expired. We give you the ability to build out app connectors to all of the apps that you care about. So just about any app that has a publicly facing API, we can probably get to connect to Capacity. We've built over 50 different app connectors so far. And what's the beauty about this is that if you have an app like Salesforce that's highly customized, you can go and update your APIs to talk with our APIs to pull that information in instantly. We also provide you with all of the relevant analytics around the questions that are being asked. So what's being asked under what time frame, by which users, what kind of response times. All right, now if I think about the ability to take a process, digitize that process, and automate the steps of that process, that's what we mean when we talk about workflows. The beauty of workflows is that we can go into a workflow like loan origination and see all the different steps of the flow itself. Collecting the app, submitting to underwriting, credit bureaus, approvals, etc. Go over to my toolbox on the left, and I can add a workflow within another workflow. I always like to joke around, it's kind of like those Russian dolls where you have the doll within the doll within the doll. So I could go click on this particular workflow and see the inner workflow itself. Now let's say you wanted to send the closing disclosure at the end of the loan. Go over on the left, add a new task, drag that into my workflow. And in this case, we want to give it a name, a description, and assign this over to Isabel on my team. When I hit create, I can go to the top of the workflow, turn this on. And now if I go back to my main workflow page, we can see that Amy Anderson has applied for a loan. She's about 3/4 of the way through. And now we can see all the steps that she's completed so far. So if you want to see that this particular task has been in progress for 15 minutes, on average, it takes an hour to complete. It's taken a total of 3 days from the beginning of the workflow to get here. So if you want to know, what are my bottlenecks? What are my holdups? What can we do to make my processes run a lot smoother? We can give you all the insights. Now, if I click on View Ticket Details, we'll see all of Isabel's tasks that are assigned to her. She can go hit Send Closing Disclosure and then be on her merry way. Now, if we were just helping you answer questions and assigning tasks to your team, we can get really far. But the power of Capacity is in the ability to take these tasks that your team is doing and reassign them to the Capacity bot. So in this case, instead of sending the closing disclosure and having Isabel do that, I'm going to hit Assign to Capacity. I can link this to one of Capacity's actions, in this case to the Send an Email action. I've got my from, my to, my subject, and my body. All this information is able to be populated from earlier on in the workflow, so you can push variables along the way. And now when I hit Create, instead of that task being assigned to Isabel, it's now assigned to Capacity and linked directly to my Gmail integration. Now fast forward a couple steps and stages. We think we've got an opportunity to take as much as 70% of your workflows and automate them by assigning those tasks to the Capacity bot. All right, just to recap, Capacity is here to help teams do their best work. We do so by helping your loan officers pull information directly out of your LOS, retrieve information out of your guides, pull information from CRMs like Salesforce, and answer basic questions, anything from IT to HR to you name it. In addition, we've got a knowledge base that makes it really easy to manage your applications and any systems you want to connect to Capacity. We also provide the analytics to show you what's happening along the way. And ultimately, with our workflows, we can help you automate the tasks that your team is doing day in and day out.